I'm Jennifer Lee Levitz, and this is Unleash the Power of Age. We do a show on behalf of the Rose Baker Senior Center for the Gloucester Council on Aging. And today we're at the studios of 1623 here in Gloucester, Massachusetts. And we have a very special guest, our very own nurse, our visiting nurse, Peg McDermott. Hi, Peg. Thank you for being here.
Hi, Jennifer. It's nice to be here. I should just explain that I work for the VNA Care Network. There are several offices with this VNA, but the one that I work out of is the Danvers one. So I just wanted to say a couple of things about, we do have clinics. I do the Gloucester clinic. If I were ill, somebody else would pick it up. And I do it every Wednesday from 9:30 until 12. So we do everything from blood pressure checks to listening to lungs to checking apical pulses. We also do diabetes screening. We also can do bone density. We need to set that up though. And we can probably see about 12 people in an hour and a half or two.
Wow.
And we have done that at the Rose Baker. We are planning on coming back and doing another one because a lot of people signed up for that. And my immediate supervisor is Joan Fitzpatrick, and Beverly Salate is the wellness director. For the VNA.
VNA, okay.
But the clinic that I do at Rose Baker is exclusive to Rose Baker. Because when you're saying unleash the power of age, I'm aging as well. So this is like my one and only. Occasionally I do a couple of other clinics. But I'm very fond of this particular clinic.
And
I
fond
really,
of you.
And I really like the director, Lucy Sheehan.
We all do.
This particular clinic does an awful lot of good for the whole city of Gloucester and also any other harboring towns and neighborhoods. They're very kind and very considerate and caring toward the elderly as well as other ages.
Oh, well, listen, there was one day I was sitting there. It was after your regular hours. I was sitting there, and you said to me, "Do you need something?" And I said, "Yeah, I don't know. I don't feel so good." And you said, "I'm going to take your blood pressure." And it was up, and it was way up. And it was just what word do I want? It was just the nudge I needed to go to the doctor and have my blood pressure paid attention to. And I'm fine now, but that was because you caught me that day.
I've caught a few other people. I've caught people in atrial fibrillation that don't feel well, but they don't know that's a very rapid pulse rate. And the pulse skips around, and usually I send people to the doctor to confirm it, and they do an EKG, an electrocardiogram, which most people that are listening to this are aware of. But atrial fibrillation is also, it's when the heart pumps really, really fast and then goes really, really slow, and then fast and then slow, and the body has the chance to accumulate a clotting mechanism. So that's what makes that very dangerous, because you're very close to having a stroke if it goes undiagnosed for a certain amount of time. It's very treatable. They have medications for it. I have a lot of people in atrial fib that come to see me. They take Coumadin, there's Eliquis, there's Xarelto. There's a lot of medications that to help keep your heart in a regular rhythm. And sometimes they cardioconvert you to shock your heart right back into rhythm. But sometimes it goes out, it says, "Hey, this is a fun thing for me to do. I'm going to be more irregular." And so it goes back in. So you should have a cardiologist, anybody over the age of 65 with any kind of cardiac symptoms. You should have a cardiologist that checks you at least once a year.
Right.
And if you notice anything that's irregular, you happen to be in the Gloucester area, I'll see you on Wednesday.
In the meantime.
I wanted to talk about the flu.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. A lot of people are very afraid to have flu shots.
I know.
And some of the reason is because they became ill after they had the flu shot. Now, unless you've had Guillain-Barré syndrome, which you don't have flu shots if you've had that. Usually, you talk to your physician, they usually don't want you to have one. But that is a neurological thing that can happen to anybody.
Mm-hmm.
But 95% of the population can handle a flu shot. Your arm is sore for a couple of days. At the worst, you would have a hoarse throat, maybe chills and a little fever for 2 days, and that would be the end of it. Most people who have had flu shots and get ill from the flu shots are either allergic to the egg product, because it's not live viruses. They're weakened and inactive viruses that are in the flu shot. And the flu shot that everyone gets has 3 or 4 different flu vaccines in it. And when it's made up by a biotech team, it is usually the 3 or 4 viruses that are prevalent in the world, really, especially in the United States, because we're in the United States. And any of those viruses could make people very sick. They could go into pneumonia,
right,
and they could die.
They could.
So
I think you were telling me that if people have allergies to egg products, that's one reason
for
that
not
they might
having
feel sick.
Right.
But the other reason is that I want to say it, that they were maybe already sick when they got the shot.
And that's the truth. It doesn't have to take much.
No.
You can shake someone's hand. You can washing your hands is the biggest thing that you can do to keep yourself from becoming ill or picking up anything from another person.
Right.
Usually when people sneeze, instead of putting their arm across their mouth like this, which is what they should be doing, they'll cough into their hand without a tissue. They might sneeze or they might cough. And then let's say they're at a church function or some other place where they're shaking someone's hand.
How do you
like,
do?
how are you doing, Vinegar?
Oh.
I know. So the most important thing is to wash your hands often. I don't mean standing at the sink and washing. But if you're outside, you're meeting people, you're shaking people's hands, you're doing any kind of a function, you should be washing your hands before you put them to your mouth. Now, during the flu season, which is usually it can be any time from, let's say, December until May. Mm-hmm. So people should be getting their flu shots before then. However, you can have a flu shot even in January or February, and it's still effective because the main flus are still around.
Let me ask you, so this is, it's not, if I'm understanding you right, it's not airborne, it's because you touch something or someone touches you. It's not just in the air and you can breathe it in.
It's not really in the air, but if someone sneezes, it's in the air. But it's usually a human contact. Okay, I don't mean that you need to kiss somebody before you have the flu, but any kind of contact. Okay. Hand contact is the most thing.
So let's pretend that we didn't get the shot and we weren't being careful and we get the flu. Now what do we do? Okay,
now what you do, you need to stay home. You need to be drinking a lot of fluids. If there are different, you do need to call your doctor and see if he wants to see you. He may not if you're infectious, but as long as if you've had the flu shot and you do get a flu, it helps with other viruses that are floating around out there. But if you get the flu, you need to stay in bed. You need to drink a lot of liquids. You need to watch if you have a temp, take Tylenol or whatever your physician. I'm not a doctor, so, but there's things you need to not go to work and expose other people to your virus. Okay. Viruses, your physician will see you and tell you if you have a virus. Sometimes the flu can go into a bacterial pneumonia or bronchitis, which is bacterial. And if that's the case, you need to be close in touch with your doctor. They can tell if it's a virus or if it is a bacterial, which the flu in itself is just you being miserable for like a week or so, or maybe even 2 weeks, and coughing, and you could have a cough syrup. There's Mucinex over the counter. What Mucinex does is you bring up some sputum with but if it's multicolored, yellow or green, you should be seeing your doctor.
Right.
If it's just white, just make sure you have plenty of water and liquid and keep your temperature down.
Okay, so you need to be hydrated.
Yeah.
And take maybe a fever reducer.
Yep.
And am I going to have aches and pains?
Yes, she'll have aches and pains. You could have a hoarse throat. You could have
Is it like an extra bad cold?
chills. It could be, well, if it gets an extra bad cold, can go into bronchitis. So you don't. If you're finding that your cough is very productive and discolored, you have to see your doctor.
Okay.
So it doesn't progress to a pneumonia. Flu for people over the age of 65 and young children is a very dangerous virus. It's dangerous because it can lead to other things.
Okay.
And over the age of 65, you do not have, especially if you have an underlying chronic condition, you don't have the strength to fight it, So anybody with an underlying condition should be seeing their doctor to get treated for the flu. But the flu shot does not give you the flu. And a lot of people believe that it does.
I know.
But there's more than 4 flus out there. They pick the 4 worst ones, and they put that in the shot. The super shot is what people over 65 should have.
Okay, so that's another, wherever you get the shot, make sure. And you don't assume that everybody is going to do the right thing and know exactly what to do. Ask for it. Make sure you say, hey, am I getting the one? Am I getting the one
The
for
super shot.
People over 65? You call it the super shot?
Yeah,
okay.
They call it the super shot.
All right.
It has a name, but most people don't remember that. If they just tell the if they're getting it at a pharmacy is they can administer flu vaccine as well. Different VNAs in different communities have flu clinics.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them they bill Medicare B pays for you to get the vaccine, and even they ask for it when you go to the pharmacy too. You can get it at your physician's office, but you need to ask for the super flu shot.
Okay.
Not the other one. It's 3 to 4 times the strength of under 65.
All right. So
they get a
we want
regular
the
flu
strong
shot.
one.
It's the
Okay.
same viruses, but it's not as strong. The strength is not as strong.
It's okay.
So-
They already had a lot of the free flu clinics here in Gloucester.
Right.
And I guess we have to inquire to see if there are going to be any more of those.
You can just go to your local pharmacy, Walgreens, CVS, ask for a flu shot, and your Medicare B should cover it.
Okay.
So don't get nervous. Your doctor can also give it to you
Right.
if you ask for it. And they start giving the flu shots in September.
All right.
So any
I'm
other
not going to get
questions,
flu.
Jennifer?
I'm not getting flu this year, and you're not either.
I'm hoping not.
Okay.
I get mine pretty early, either through the VNA or I get it through my physician.
Okay.
one
That's
or
what
the
I'll
other.
be doing. I have a physical in 10 days.
Yeah, they'll give it to you. It's good, even if it's late getting it, even in January, February. But it takes 2 weeks for the flu vaccine to work.
Okay.
So if you're 2 weeks, because you're building it up in your body
Okay.
and becoming immune to the flu.
Okay.
If you get the flu it shouldn't be that severe. But there's more than one flu.
Okay.
I've had my flu shots every year, and I did one year have a terrible flu, and it wasn't one of the 4 in the flu vaccine.
Of course not.
There's a lot of them out there.
I know.
You
I
know?
know. I think
So if there's any concerns at all, talk to your doctor. You can come and see me. I'm there. I don't care if you live in Gloucester or not.
but only on Wednesdays.
But on Wednesdays.
What
Well,
time do you
I have
start?
to say that sometimes I'm a little late because of the traffic.
Oh, yes.
So,
What time do you
but
get
I'm
there?
usually there no later than 9:45,
Okay.
and I stay till 12:15
I
or
know.
12:20.
I know.
And I'll stay if this is your first time coming.
Right. And, you
And
get practically
I'm very
a complete
happy.
physical.
I have a lot of people that just amber in looking for something else, and I say, hey, you want me to check your blood pressure?
Or how about your blood sugar?
I do the blood sugar too.
Okay, so we wanted to talk just a little bit about blood sugar related
Diabetes.
So
I think most people know that there's diabetes 1, which usually happens. There's juvenile diabetes when you're a child, but diabetes 1 is when your body doesn't use insulin correctly, okay? And your body treats it as an invasion. And people, when they find out that they have extreme thirst, they might lose weight. They're tired all the time with fatigue. Just because you crave sugar doesn't mean you're a diabetic.
no.
So that is usually taken care of younger in life. Most people have those symptoms younger in life. As you age, like over 50, your body, if you are A, obese, B, have hypertension, C, have abnormal cholesterol, which is too high, or, a few other things, that makes people go to the doctor. And when they're tested, they do an A1C, which is a blood test to see where you come on a scale. The physician can tell right away if you've developed diabetes 2.
We're so used to hearing this stuff on television in these commercials.
Oh, yeah.
My A1C, my A1C. What's A1C?
Well, it's a blood test that the physician does, and it depends on how you come out. Whatever the percentage. I'm not a lab technician,
So you don't
so
know. Okay.
I can't really answer. What I can say is that what I'm doing is just doing. I have a glucose monitor, and I take a little pen prick.
Right.
And if also a big thing is if anybody in your family has had it, more or less your immediate family, but any aunts, uncles, and any relations, that makes you more risk to develop
Grandparents.
diabetes 1 or 2.
Right.
And 2 is more prevalent as patients get older. They have certain conditions that are precursors
Right.
to diabetes 2. And diabetes 2 is your pancreas makes insulin. And for a little while, there could be months, years that it's still making, but it's getting tired like an old person, and it doesn't do as good a job. And so it stops producing the right amount of insulin. So you need to urge your pancreas to make more. So usually when patients go to the physician, there's oral agents that they will give them. Or if you can do it with watching your diet, you watch your carbohydrate intake, you watch your blood pressure, you watch your weight, the chances of obesity really can, and I'm not the thinnest little person on the planet.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I mean, I love sugar just like everybody else does, but I'm careful about it. But I don't have it in my family. But I have some other risks that could make me develop it. But also women who are pregnant and get gestational diabetes. That means that their pancreas isn't producing enough insulin to take care of the sugar. They can be at risk later in life to develop diabetes too. Now, I don't want people running to the doctor, but it is good to have, if anybody in your family has diabetes, it's good to have your blood sugar tested. And if you're going in for a yearly physical, the physician will do a bigger test than the one I do. But mine is like a wake-up call, and it's like, oh, look, your blood sugar is elevated.
Right.
You know, it's like, it's crawling up there. It's like 125, 130. You need to see your physician for a better workup.
See.
But mine is like a warning signal, do you know?
I do.
And I tell people, watch your weight, be careful what you eat, watch your carb intake.
Get some exercise.
Get a lot of exercise.
Exercise is one of the key elements.
It is.
Of being healthy. And I'll do a little commercial here.
Yeah, you can.
At Rose Baker Senior Center, this is a commercial.
Yes.
At Rose Baker Senior Center, we have, 16 or more different exercise groups or classes a week that are free, or there's a nominal charge. Anything you can think of, from Tai Chi to calisthenics to yoga, 3 different kinds of yoga, and many other forms of being in shape.
Zumba, too.
Zumba.
On Fridays.
It's a great class. It's almost too full. They don't really want us to talk about it, but that's okay. We'll do it anyway. There's also, you can go to the Y and swim 2 days a week for free if you're a Rose Baker person.
All senior centers, if they have a local YMCA, I think 2 days a week, if you talk to your managers and the main person, the secretary, she can put you down as swimming, and you go in with a group.
Right. And
twice a week you can get to ski for free. I mean, ski. What am I thinking about?
I'm
thinking about skiing for myself. Or, get to swim for free.
Right.
And swimming is a fabulous exercise because you're not putting a lot of strength on, you're developing your strength, but you're doing it.
Joints.
You're doing it nicely. Slowly, and you're enjoying yourself.
That's true.
And they have little water aerobics that you can do too,
right. So,
and it's free, twice a week.
Really, and I will speak from my little bit of expertise as a certified holistic health counselor to bring up the fact that careful eating and eating nutritional foods and eating regularly and eating the right amounts is key to controlling blood sugar and avoiding diabetes. And that's something else that we do
and
at Rose Baker. We have soup and salad 3 days a week, free. Right. Anyway,
the Rose Baker does an awful lot for the clientele that go in there. There's a lot of activities. There's socialization. There's bingo. And 3 times a week, 3 days a week.
For the soup and salad.
Through the open door, yes.
We don't have bingo 3 days a week.
No. Most senior centers in most of the around here, anyway.
Essex County, we'll call it.
All of Essex County are very good. They do an awful lot, depending on their space and everything that they have. That's, but the more that they have, the better it is for the senior center.
Sure.
According to government funds and things like that.
Sure.
And
see, you didn't think you could do more than 15 minutes, and here we are.
I know.
Show's all gone.
It's all gone, and just don't forget that I'm there.
No one will forget that you're there, Peg.
Okay.
All
right.
Thank you, Peg, for being here with us today.
And thank you, Jennifer.
My pleasure. Whee!
Is it off?
Proud is a senior market.
What is it?
Maybe ask Luke. He's probably more your seasoned veteran.
Would you tell me what this is?
This is the Gloucester Senior Market, and it is a program of the Open Door Food Pantry.
Okay.
Yep, located at 28 Emerson Ave in Gloucester.
Oh, okay. We know that. Who comes here? Who
So
can? What is?
this is for anyone who's a senior in Gloucester, and that's why we have it at the Senior Center, where everyone's already conveniently located.
Okay.
And so we'd serve about 50 to 70 people come through here, and it's once a month, the last Friday of every month.
And they get food?
Yep, and they get food for free.
Food for free. What kind of food is it?
Well,
Let's
it's
see.
what
do
we
we
have
have
left.
today?
We have sweet potatoes,
Oranges,
green peppers, onions, apples, lettuce, cheese.
And is there an income thing, or can anybody do it?
It's just for the seniors in Gloucester in general. So it's not based on income, it's based on age and location.
Can I get some today?
Absolutely. We'll sign you right up.
All right.
I get to know the people. I give them recipe ideas because they're like, I don't want that. I said, look, all you got to do is this and that. You know.
Oh, that's great.
We got one more, we got a straggler.
Smallish.
You're always going to get bananas. You're always going to get eggs, usually. A juice and a canned vegetable.
Okay, no juice. Thank you. And that would be
And that, we had spaghetti, but that's gone.
okay. Thank you very much. Look at this beautiful stuff. So what is this event?
It's just a Christmas fair.
Where did they come from?
They're all knitted over here.
These are all donated. They're donated by...
They're knitted over here.
They're knitted here at the Senior
Some of
Las
them,
Vegas
and
Senior
some of them
Center.
they do knit at home and they bring them down. But most of them are knitted over here. And then you want to go down the cellar.
I figured it was, it's my birthday and they have a party for me or something.
What did you say?
I said, it's nice if you're able to get out of the house, see people, talk to people, because I stay home. This is a Christmas gift to my sisters.
That's great. And you're going together? That's great. I love it. I have two sisters.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Sometimes they say, if you got sisters, you don't need friends, but still you need your friends.
Absolutely.
Yeah.